up, Leo risings, Leo sun, moon, and Venus signs? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We're going to read your tarot cards here today, little shuffles, and my disclaimer, which is that you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Because these are general messages on YouTube, not everything I say every week will connect with every single one of you, so know that in advance. But do come in with an open heart, an open mind. You might just learn something. You might be able to take something of value away. That is my aim, my hope, my goal, my intention. But if not, if you don't resonate with the material at hand, release, let go, assume it's going out to someone else. Okay? That's it. Let's have some fun. Do remember to enter the contest for a free tarot giveaway if that does interest you. There's a timestamp you can click on right sort of in the comment box of this video. It'll take you right to the instructions on how to enter. So here we go. We're going to go right around the zodiac wheel here, and I'm going to highlight the important messages for you. So here we go. This is specifically geared towards Leo rising. It may very well resonate, especially if you are a sun sign Leo, if you just resonate as Leo. There's a very good likelihood this may resonate for you, but highly recommend that you watch your rising sign as well. But of course, you're in charge of your own life, so you're welcome to watch whatever video you desire. Hell yeah, 10 of Pentacles coming up in your long-term career goals. Ooh, that feels like money. Which does not actually surprise me because the sun is in Taurus right now for one thing. So if you are a Leo rising, Taurus is the natural zodiac sign which rules your 10th house. Your 10th house having a lot to do with your future, your legacy, the life you build throughout the years. It's very future-oriented. And it is about work, right? Its natural sort of connection is to Capricorn, which is sort of my worker bees of the zodiac. So my Leo rising's 10th house ruled by Taurus. There's definitely a connection to money there. And the sun is there right now too. So anytime the sun is in a particular zodiac sign, it's like shining a light on something. It's emphasizing it. It's highlighting it. So you have a lot of 10th activity that has been highlighted for the last week and a half or so since it's been Taurus season. And you have money. So it could be that you're making long-term plans for your money, or it could be that you are inching your way closer to some long-term career goals and maybe you're starting to see the return. It's funny, I heard residuals. Isn't that interesting how those words just kind of come into here? Yeah, and some of you, there could be something unexpected. The planet Uranus, yes, we like to giggle at that, is also sitting in Taurus and will be for quite some time. We have to remember that planet is generational, so it has a very long transit. It will be in Taurus for, I think, like 15 years or something like that. So you're not going to see immediate effects of that planet personally. However, you will see small effects when things come into aspect and form some sort of aspect to that planet. As well as particularly for my Leo risings in your long-term career goals. So some unexpected, beautiful blessings may be coming your way, you know, with the tarot cards involved in this too. We like 10 of Pentacles, right? It could even have to do with some sort of family planning. I mean, 10th house has a lot of connections, as do all the different houses. It also is sometimes related to the public image, authority figures, as well as your father too. So potentially, I don't know, maybe your father got a bomb tax return and you're going to reap the rewards of that somehow. Maybe you're going to take some money you get from a father figure or a boss figure and put it into something that means the world to you, or a future investment plan, something like that. So since we kind of started with that nice 10 of Pentacles card, let's keep looking at your money and job situation. We'll read for love and all that good stuff too. So, let's look at your second house, your assets, your resources, also your self-worth, kind of your daily interactions with money. You have Knight of Cups, so this to me says hello job offer or positive forward movement and something that brings you a lot of joy. As, you know, cheesy as this may sound, but I hope not, because I think this is a beautiful message. You may be feeling full of self-love right now and really understanding your self-worth and not being afraid to put yourself out there, especially, you know, in terms of money and assets and career goals and presenting yourself as is, because this to me, it's like a beautiful opportunity is coming along. And I guess what I'm saying is it may have started from something internally that existed within you. You may have gone through some sort of major change or transformation, you know, a newfound motivation to really start, you know, kicking ass on your career or pursuing something more in your career, or it's just, you know, everyday jobs, the everyday hustle, the side hustle for some of you if you're like an entrepreneur or something. This feels like new opportunities coming in, and the Knight of Cups, it's a good offer. Knights always bring change and movement, so it's either a love offer or possibly a job offer. Maybe you are doing some hiring at your place of business and maybe you're the one, you know, dishing out the offers. Knight of Cups, what makes him different from the other knights? Well, he's water. He's of the water element. So very compassionate, very sympathetic, very artistic, very intuitive, very creative, strongly related to Piscean energy and sort of Neptune, which amazing artwork, amazing creativity, and a sensitive, beautiful little soul. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But that's what's coming up in your house of money right now. So even if this is a short-term project, it's possible that an opportunity comes along where you're needing to tap into your intuition more, or your creativity more. Overall, a very good thing. I guess every card has a duality to it. The only thing I guess I would offer you, just to balance things out and not tell you all great things, he sometimes isn't the most practical knight. So if you are hoping to make a lot of money, yes, absolutely mix sort of that intuitive sense about how you're looking to do something, but also factor in a little practicality. Maybe just set a goals list rather than like, oh, life is a fairy tale and everything's wonderful. That's this knight. And it's great. He's full of optimism. But again, sometimes we need to lean in more to that sort of practical, earthy side or planning side, or I would even say your fire side in terms of taking action, not just dreaming about it. This could very much indicate, though, that something that you've been dreaming about for a long time, because this is coming up in your house of self, your identity, your ego, which is like, I'm the emperor, I'm the boss, you may be taking a lot of action to bring something that only existed in your heart space, in your head space, in this dreamy, creative, intuitive space, into reality, and now you're starting to either reap the reward of it or build towards it so it will be successful in the future, Leo. I'm kind of digging this. Okay, and then in your 6th house, you have the Lovers. So yay, we tend to like this card, right? I always want to mention, though, like every card in tarot, there's so many messages. I could talk about any one card for 10 minutes. You've probably seen me do it, right? I'm trying to be better about that. But this is a card very much associated with Gemini, and it's a card associated with duality, right? Gemini being the twins. It has a lot to do with your masculine and your feminine side, the duality that exists within us, the light, the dark, the positive, the negative. And it also has to do with choices in anything, really, in people, in career moves, in projects, in new undertakings. So this says to me, this is not a bad card. This is about connecting, I think, to your next major milestone or your next major task. But with that, there's an important decision that is existing in that space. So all of your money houses, areas of life that are the ruler or the rulership of each of your money houses 2, 6, and 10, are ruled by earth signs. So I love that because earth signs are naturally associated with money. Not that any sign isn't capable of being that way, but I would argue it's maybe an extra benefit. Anybody who is a rising sign, a fire rising sign, your money houses are ruled by signs that gravitate naturally towards working well with money, working well with resources. Let's put it that way. So Capricorn, the worker bee, is the ruler of your 6th house, which also does have a lot to do with your health, your lifestyle, day-to-day, daily routine, activity, habits. It seems like there are important decisions to be made, but nothing that you can't handle. When you throw a challenge at Capricorn, they will succeed. It may take them time. They might not be the most speedy sign, but I would say that they're one of the most reliable in terms of they will get it done, but they will get it done properly, even if it means pushing back deadlines or due dates. And maybe that's sort of a decision you're grappling with right now. And there is no right or wrong answer, right? These sort of decisions and choices will be very different for all of my Leo risings, but these are weekly readings. What's coming up in sort of your daily routine? Big decisions are being made. And it may even have to do with collaboration, right? We can certainly view this as another important decisions about your boss, important decisions about who you're hiring, important decisions about your coworker, important decisions about which job offer you're going to take or which job you're going to apply to. Major decisions are coming in, but I would say at minimum, you're setting yourself up for success in the future. So I would even go as far to say whatever it is you're doing now, I think you're doing something right. You have very strong cards coming in terms of money and career. So hell yeah, Leo, that's awesome. All right, so where do we want to go from here? I'm curious about this tower. Again, the tower has multiple connotations. The tower is more often than not kind of like, oh, what's going on there? Because it does indicate that something needs to be destroyed and broken down in order to be rebuilt properly. With Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, which is all about expansion and buoyancy, good luck, good fortune. Anything Jupiter touches, it expands. So it's headed into the sign of Pisces. Pisces is the natural ruler of your 8th house if you are a Leo rising. 8th house has a lot to do with other people's resources, money you acquire not necessarily from your own hard work and efforts and labor. It kind of has to do with inheritance. It has to do with like tax returns, things of that sort. So again, with Jupiter coming through there, you may acquire a lot of money, and I'm wanting to say unexpectedly, because there's a nice little aspect with, again, planet Uranus, which is kind of sort of that shocking, unique, what is a good way of putting it, unexpected, rebellious planet. There could be an opportunity for money to come out of nowhere, but I'm not sure why it's being shown by the Tower card. Maybe it's just emphasizing the point, like, boom, that came out of nowhere like a lightning bolt. Others of you, this because your 8th house, in addition to all this stuff with other people's money and others' resources, it has a lot to do with your mental health, sort of the shadow side, what remains hidden. There's connections to the past and very spiritual, almost like shaman-esque energy. It's like we have to go deep into our soul to unearth things. It's, it's very, I don't want to say intuitive, but it's naturally associated with Scorpio. And Scorpio is kind of that shaman-esque, very deep, very spiritual, transformational sign of the zodiac. So for you, your 8th house is ruled by Pisces. So there's a lighter-hearted energy than I would say Scorpio. Not that I'm throwing shade at Scorpio. Love me, my Scorpio gang. And Jupiter headed into Pisces is going to be beautiful for a lot of us because it's in its natural home. It has everything it needs to survive, and not only that, to achieve things and do well. I guess what I am sort of taking the long route to get to is that you may have an expansion of some deep psychological stuff you have to do. And it's not necessarily all bad, but almost like, cleaning out the closets. I always say that with Scorpio energy, it's all about death and rebirth, transformation to make something better. Scorpio has a lot to do with Mars energy, and that's exactly what this card is. It comes in like a thunderbolt, like a lightning bolt, or however you want to say it. It's fast, it's quick, it's energetic, it's shocking. It can also be a little bit destructive, but we have to understand that in the long term, the bigger picture here is that it's actually coming in to pull you out of a situation that maybe you're stuck in or that you've outgrown. So there may be some psychological wounds you're carrying around, and maybe universe is saying, hey, it's time to nip this in the bud. The relationship isn't going to get better until you have the conversation with the person. So for some of you, it may be literally someone who's alive and here in the 3D world. For others of you, maybe there's past baggage that you feel with someone, like a parent or a grandparent, or something where maybe you feel a little bit slighted or got the short end of the stick, or just something that's been bothering you. With Jupiter headed into your 8th house, there may be some major transformational work you're doing in the more psychological sense to achieve greater wellness, right? That's really all that there is. I'm not casting a shadow over that by any means. I don't think it's negative. To be honest, I think it's what you choose to make of it, Leo. And interestingly enough, in your 7th house of long-term partnerships, so it could be marriage or business contracts, you do have sort of this healing angel, Temperance, very much associated with Sagittarius. So for some of you, maybe this is saying there's a long-term partnership in your life that needs to be healed. I wouldn't necessarily think that is family related, but hey, it's going to be different for all of you. So maybe there's a Sagittarius involved that needs a little bit of healing with you in your life, or maybe this is just representing sort of like that divine push or that divine pull to heal something that is long overdue, because it's almost like we have to I'm wanting to say almost like destroy our past narrative of what went down, and almost like an onion, peel back the layers or strip back the layers so we can start a fresh new start, a fresh beginning in order to heal this properly. That's for some of you. So with that, let's hop over to sort of your relationship. So again, coming up in sort of your area of who you are in the coming week or two, right? Weekly readings. Emperor, very strong, very poised, very confident, very all about order and control, but also we have to remember there's a fun side to the Emperor too. You wouldn't think to look at him, but ultimately it's pointing out to us an element or an energy of Aries. Aries are the first sign of the zodiac. They're very, there's a very youthful spirit about Aries. Again, action, adventure, energy, the starter, the pioneer. It's a cardinal sign. So you may be initiating something in relationships this week. You may be the one to break the ice or have the conversation, rip the Band-Aid off, however you want to say it. And again, it might be with an Aries or a Sagittarius. To be honest, what I see this week is a responsibility to heal things that need to be healed, conversations that need to be had. Saturn, the planet of responsibility and karma, in a sense, is in your 7th house of partnership for the next at least year. So Saturn, I've been saying this to every zodiac sign. This is not unique to you guys, but Saturn is a planet where you have to put in the time and effort to reap the reward. And to be honest, I totally believe in free will, but with Saturn, you essentially have no choice, because if you refuse or deny the responsibility of what Saturn is pointing out to you, right now it's your partnerships, your long-term partnerships, you're going to, how do I not say this in a cruel way, but you're going to be struggling. And I think a lot of people who follow astrology understand that. Saturn is jokingly the planet we love to hate, but it doesn't have to be that way. If we understand that Saturn is almost like the little kid in the corner folding his hands, like, we have to do it this way, you have to kind of get down on your knee and try and reason with it a little bit. Saturn ultimately does want to make you a stronger, better, more developed person, but it's very stubborn. Again, it's about rolling up your sleeves and doing the work. There's no sense of ease or laziness when Saturn is sort of in that house. So for you guys, this has to do with committed partnerships. Whether that's at work or romantically, you may be feeling the stress of Saturn in a marriage that otherwise has been very happy. Or if you've been struggling in a marriage for a long time, and with Saturn's transit into the sign of Aquarius, you may be like, you know what, maybe this is a sign. Maybe if we're not willing to show up and do the work, maybe this is about liberation and freedom, especially because Aquarius rules is the rulership of your 7th house. So again, that will manifest differently for some of you. But right now, you're being asked to show up in long-term partnerships and do the work that you've probably been putting off. And again, it's not bad. It's not a prison sentence. It's not a death sentence, but it is something that does require your time and attention and focus. If you want to see the reward at the end of it, and you will. You will, because in a sense, Saturn forces us to step up the same way the Tower does. It's like we can avoid it till we're blue in the face, but eventually something in your life will change where it's like it's the elephant in the room and it can't be ignored anymore. It's like it's the elephant blocking the door where you can't get out of the room until you address the elephant. Do you know what I mean? So something like that may be coming up, especially with a Sagittarius. In terms of your dating life, you do have, for those who are single and looking, or maybe curious about someone, kind of getting cozy or romantic, sex is going to factor into this in the coming weeks or the coming months, maybe. Ace of Wands is about connection, chemistry. It's about what lights your fire, what kind of jazzes you up. It's very phallic, right? So my first gut reaction when this showing up in your house of sex and dating, right? Pleasure, leisure activities, sports, hobbies, things of that sort. It's also very creative. So some of you may be participating. Again, a lot of creative energy here. That's happening both in your personal life and your work life. Potential for it anyway. You may be focusing on birthing something creatively into the world. And it's possible you guys might be thinking about long-term partnership. In fact, that could be this major decision in your daily routines. It's like if you already have a spark and a connection and you've been with someone for whatever you deem a decent amount of time that qualifies getting to know them well enough, you may be making an important decision of, are we going to blend cups, right? For life. Are we together? Are we in this for the long term? That's a very important decision, quite literally regarding the person you love, right? So I actually really like this. This is a positive card. And of course, not all of you are in that boat of being in a long-term committed partnership. And some of you might not want that. If you are a Leo rising and Aquarius rules your 7th house, Aquarius being an energy that it's very innovative, it is very futuristic and forward thinking. There's also something very unique, something a little bit quirky or off kilter, not in a bad way, just in a way that is not mainstream. The complete opposite of Saturn, which is all about sort of tradition. Aquarius is more that sort of innovative, let's do it differently. Anyway, with that zodiac sign ruling your 7th house, you may view long-term partnership in a way that is a little bit different than your average person out there, right? So there might be something different that you desire in long-term partnership, and maybe that requires a big conversation to be had with your person and just an assessment of, are we in this? Is there love there? This is Archangel Michael, the angel of love. So, he's showing up in your 7th house of partnership. So for some of you, there's great news and there's great movement coming in. Again, though, you will have to put in the time and effort to reap the reward of that. For those who are kind of single and looking, what can I tell them with this Ace of Wands? I would say there's a lot of communication and flirtation. So if you're hitting up the apps or meeting people, you know, whatever you young kids do these days in the bars, at the cafes, out with friends, there's communication that has a warmth to it. It's full of passion. Yeah, sex. So I just keep hearing sex. Lots of sex. You're bringing sexy back. All right, the World. So possibly with a Capricorn. Oh my gosh, this looks so sexual. Just look at the imagery of these cards. You have the phallic thing and then this kind of round birth canal-esque looking thing. She's nude, she's naked, she's vulnerable. If you've been seeing someone and having these nice little conversations, it may turn into something much more intimate. I can't not read this just the way it's presenting, which is, yeah, this is full of sex. There might be an ending or a completion possibly with a fire sign if you guys are just tapped out. If something has run its course, you know, Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Again, it would have been a long time coming though. So here's my thing. For this, even if it wasn't marriage, this indicates to me it was building up for a long time. So this would be for my group of Leo risings who were maybe in a long-term commitment and you're sort of at that stage where it's like, are we really in this? In which case, maybe this is the result of the long-term partnership, and then boom, you graduate the World, ending of a cycle from the long-term, and then you're engaging in new activities, new flirtation, meeting new people, connections, right? It doesn't have to be sex, but I mean, for a lot of you, just frankly, it will be with these cards coming up. So yeah, some of you, there's completion of a major cycle, a major chapter with someone in your life, and again, it could move to a more elevated space, or it could end, it could crumble, it could be dismantled in order to make room for new blessings in your life, okay? Yeah, okay, let's go around the zodiac and we will wrap this thing up. So let's do one card for each zodiac sign. You can choose to view this platonically. I'm going to get information on every zodiac sign regarding my Leo risings, but I'm going to read for romance and dating, so we'll see what comes up. In terms of major arcana that are showing up very prevalently here, I would say Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, Capricorn, Aries again, maybe some Scorpio and some Pisces. It doesn't mean it, you know, there might be good or bad things there, but those are the ones, major arcana that are showing up. Here we go. If Leo is dealing with another Leo, Queen of Wands, beautiful, love it, passion. If Leo is dealing with a Virgo, Three of Cups, celebrations, social interactions. You might get to know this person through another friend. You may go attend a mutual party or a wedding with them, or it could be a reconciliation from your past. It's very lighthearted, joyous energy. I like that a lot. If you're dealing with a Libra, King of Swords, someone's, there's a coldness to the King of Swords. It's not, and that's not something I associate with Libra, so this might go vice versa, but yeah, I don't know. Tell me one more thing about it. The Magician. All right, this could be actually someone has a very keen interest in you, especially intellectually. They're stimulated by you intellectually, but they haven't made the first move yet, but they might be trying to manifest you. I'll be honest, this feels very futuristic. Like you might not have met this person yet. It's like they're working on their manifestations and kind of like talking to spirit, getting coached by spirit of how they want to manifest relationships. And this could be something that comes in your future. Just putting it out there. If you were dealing with a Scorpio, the Emperor. I heard stoic. So, you know, kind of classic Scorpio, full of love, but doesn't necessarily parade that. You know, they tend to be more secretive and they don't always let you in on what they're thinking initially. So you might be having trouble reading this person, but again, the Emperor is very serious. He means business. He has control issues, but he's actually full of passion, and that's actually what I'm getting from this. So this has a lot of potential, but it's almost like underground, almost the idea of an earthquake. There's something about eventually it will start to break and move, but right now it's a little bit like you guys are still figuring each other out. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, Six of Wands, victory. Yes, you've either caught their eye or they've caught your eye. There's a lot of intrigue and curiosity, but also sexual attraction. Like, ooh, who's that? And this may be on the apps too, someone may be checking out your profile. If you were dealing with a Capricorn, Nine of Coins. So I don't know, this person may be happy being single, but they actually seem very warm to discussing things with you. I don't know. I don't hate this card, but it is kind of my single lady, single man card. So I think the singlehood will probably continue for a bit. But this person actually has a lot to offer, and they have a lot of self-respect. So something with that could pan out in the future. If you were dealing with an Aquarius, Two of Cups, cozy, cute. I think some of you may need to fix a relationship with Aquarius too, but I think there is love there, especially for my same-sex couples. If you're dealing with a Pisces, Four of Swords, this person is thinking about you and dreaming about you, but this almost feels like an ex to me, like someone who is still maybe holding on to a connection and thinking about it. Because yeah, we have to remember, it comes after the Three of Swords, so there may have been a little bit of trouble in paradise, and maybe you guys are working to fix it, or on pause, taking a break, taking some time apart. I think they're still thinking about it, but there may have recently been some arguments with the Pisces. If you're dealing with an Aries, Knight of Swords. I think they will be very communicative with you, but they may also be a little bit aggressive. And that might not be a bad thing. It might be that they're just very like, hey, when do you want to hang out? Let's make plans right now. And it might be a little bit overwhelming, but it could manifest as aggression in terms of like argumentative. So maybe. Knight of Swords, again, anything in swords, it's not to say it can't be warm and fuzzy, but that's not their first priority. It's more the intellect, the mind, the words. If you are dealing with a Taurus, Ace of Wands, sex, baby. Yeah. Ace of Wands is new opportunities. That's what this could be too. This Taurus is very creative. They may even like draw a little sketch or a cartoon or send you pictures of their art, or so. There's something very flair. I'm hearing flair. There's like something creative and visually interesting about the Taurus, and vice versa. They may think that about you. You guys, there may be a really strong creative collaboration with the Taurus. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting this. They may give you a piece of art or ask you to their art show. There's some connection to an artist with the Taurus. It might be them, it might be you, but it's strong. I actually really like it. If you were dealing with a Gemini, Two of Wands. If there was any card to represent Gemini, this would be it. Literally like the two-faced twin. I love Geminis. I actually have a ton of Gemini placements in my chart, but this to me is like the lower vibe of Gemini, where there's a duality. They say one thing and do the other. Or their words don't match their action. And that's I didn't really go over this because these are shorter readings. Four of Cups is falling in your house of Gemini right now. So you may be having arguments with a Gemini friend, or just something about it is you both are kind of moody right now, or somebody said something and it rubbed you the wrong way, or it doesn't mean it's over. Two of Wands just means there's important decisions and somebody has to take action on them. So if you both are at a standstill, do you see how both people are not acknowledging the other? They're literally like the Siamese twin. Again, so Geminian. But both people, it's like about face, and you're both like, crossing your arms in the corner, not addressing the problem. So this is going to continue until someone breaks the ice. And last but not least, if you're dealing with a Cancer, I have a feeling your Cancer is sad right now. Knight of Wands. Yeah, so there's curiosity, there's passion that they want to move forward with, but I think they might feel rejected by you. Yeah, especially if you're involved with a Capricorn or an Aries, I think the Cancer knows about it and like they're spying on you, or something about... Yeah, it's like someone almost has like a player-esque energy, and this could be the Cancer too, right? It goes vice versa. So yeah, someone with Knight of Wands, they're looking for a good time, but they're not necessarily looking for commitment. More than likely, Leo risings, that's probably you with the wand suit, but again, it could be a Cancer with strong Leo placements. But I don't think this person is looking for long-term, and the other one is. So you guys are not speaking the same language this week. Yeah, Queen of Swords says there's probably a severing happening there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. All right, Leo Risings, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me on my channel. Please remember to like that video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and enter the contest. I will tell you how to do so now. What's up, guys? This is a friendly reminder to submit your name if you are looking to throw in a submission to win a free tarot reading from me, the Intuitive Teacup. There will be 3 winners announced on May 9th, and in order to submit your entry, I am asking that you leave a comment on any video of your choice here on my channel. It has to be one of my videos, listing the 3 qualities you admire most about yourself, 3 qualities you find very likable or desirable, 3 things that you're proud of about yourself. So loyalty, trustworthy, creative, funny, compassionate, any of those things. It's up to you. Leave those 3 descriptor words, and next to it I want you to include the hashtag Team Teacup. That's just simply to let me know that you're entering your name for the competition and not just leaving a random comment. So yeah, that is what you're being asked to do. One comment is one submission. You can submit as many times as you would like, aka leave as many comments as you want. They can be the same descriptors, different ones. That's entirely up to you. So there will be 3 winners. If you are a winner, I will comment on your comment as well as announce your name on my channel and my Instagram. From there, we will message privately and you will be allowed to submit one question you would like me to answer. And that's that. It's pretty easy, pretty basic. Of course, if you are not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. It really does help me. And I welcome you to join me over on Instagram because that was sort of the brainchild of this contest anyway. I reached 1,000 subs on Instagram, which is great. I love interacting with you guys there, and it allows me to do things here on YouTube that I can't. So welcome you to follow me over there or on Facebook. It's not necessary. It's not required to enter the competition, but you do need to submit to my YouTube channel or subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, that's about it. So I look forward to announcing the winner Sunday, May 9th. So make sure you enter before then.